Hello everyone and welcome or welcome back. Today I'm going to be participating in the yearly mid-year Freakout book tag, and I did participate in this once before in maybe 2022 or 2023. I'll link it here. Prepare for a little bit of cringe. Anyway, we'll be jumping right into the 2025 year tag. The best book I've read so far in 2025 has to be Sunrise on the Reaping. This just instantly transported me back into 2008 when we had simpler times. I was still a teenager. Britney just made her comeback. The iPhone was just a year old at that point. I think Twilight was on the rise too. I never read that, so don't ask me about that. I was just so excited that we finally got to know what happened with Haymitch. We got his perspective from when he was in the Hunger Games, lots of social commentary as per the usual, and it was so upsetting. But yes, this completely blew me out of the water. Then for best sequel I didn't really read a direct sequel of a series, so I guess I'm going to be cheating on that one a little, but as I just mentioned, this is part of a series. And then I also read For You and Only You from the You series. This is already number 4. I do think there's going to be a 5th book coming out as well. I'm not sure when. I was a super fan of the You books. However, the books have progressively gotten worse as time went on. And I feel like there was just a lot of pressure put on Caroline, the author, to just push these books out, especially after they came out with the TV show. I just think that played a part in that. And you know, this stalker narrative is getting really repetitive, but I think this book was just way too long. A new release I haven't read yet but want to, that would be You Killed Me First by John Mars, and I honestly don't even know why I haven't read this yet, and he's also currently writing another book that's coming out soon, so I need to read this before that one. Then the most anticipated release for the second half of the year, that must be Gone Before Forgotten by Reese Witherspoon and Harlan Coben. When I heard about this book coming out, I was very surprised. I had no idea that Reese was working on a book, and with Harlan Coben no less. I feel like this is going to be one of these very polarizing books, where some people are going to say this is just a cash grab for Reese. Then on the other hand, you have the diehard Harlan Coben fans that will probably love it. But who knows? Anything can happen, but I thought this sounded super interesting. It's following a very elite plastic surgeon who's dealing with celebrities and just in general high-paying clientele. And then she accepts a job that includes providing unconventional medical assistance to a mysterious man, and then suddenly her patient disappears. So talking about some conspiracy theories around elites and the ultra rich, so sign me up. Now my biggest disappointment this year is Kill Your Darlings by Peter Swanson, and I have a full review on this, so I'll link it here. But basically this just fell a little bit flat because it was super repetitive in my eyes. The biggest surprise to me was The Paradise Problem by Christina, and I'll be honest with you, I typically wouldn't even reach for this book. This was something that I read for my book club, and back in the day I was definitely more of a romance reader. When I was a teenager, I ate Nicholas Sparks books up. Then pretty quickly my reading taste evolved into thrillers, and I'm not really reading romance that much anymore. This was so funny. It would be a great beach read, and if I had to describe this, I would say imagine Succession but on a beach. And yeah, of course there's romance in it, but it's not super heavy. And my favorite new author is John Rector. This is going to be part of my June wrap-up. I flew through this book. First of all, it's not super long, and it honestly surprised me just because in general this story develops pretty slow, but at the same time you kept wanting to turn the pages. So I really like this writing style, and this book in particular has some aspects of a thriller, a little bit of sci-fi, and now I really want to read more by him. My newest fictional crush, and honestly I don't like this question, but I get it. It's meant in a playful way. So if I had to choose, I would go with the guy that was in The Paradise Problem. I forgot his name, but I do remember that he was witty and funny, and he was described as this really hot guy, so why not have a crush on him? We're all human, right? Then for my newest favorite character, I chose June Hayward from Yellowface. I've definitely seen some very polarizing reviews, but I really liked it. And yes, June is a very toxic, unlikable person, but I love those characters. I just always like diving into these personalities that are just so insufferable. I don't know why. Maybe that's saying something about me. Just know this book is meant as satire, but the reason I liked her so much is her thoughts make you cringe, but then you want to keep reading anyway. Then a book that made you cry, I obviously have to go with Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I also have a full review on this one. And I said in there as well, I wasn't full on crying, but it definitely made me tear up. And once again, Taylor Jenkins Reid is one of my favorite authors, so I was not surprised at all that this is gonna hit me in the feels. She just has that special gift. And then for a book that made me happy, I chose Every Time I Go on Vacation, Someone Dies. This was so funny. It's the perfect beach read. There were so many different characters in here. They all had their own little quirks. It was set in Italy in the summer. It had so much humor and snarky pop culture references in here. And this book is also breaking the fourth wall, so the author of the book is speaking to you directly. And I personally always enjoy that. Then for the most beautiful book I've bought so far, I have to go with the Save Me series by Kasten. This is the first one, and I just got the second one too, and these covers are so pretty. But if you're familiar with Maxton Hall, this is actually the book that TV show is based on, and these books are the original German version. And Save Me is coming out on July 1st in the US, so you can read it then. And I would highly recommend you pick this up. This is YA and romance. I thought this was so well written. It was super realistic as far as from what I remember when I was a teenager. And I personally just like this trope of someone in lower or middle class falling in love with a rich person, and it gets bonus points when the rich person is insufferable, and James is definitely insufferable. And the final question is, what books do I need to read by the end of this year? So for that, I'm gonna go with the Wayward Pine series by Blake Crouch. I got this for my birthday back in February, and I still haven't read it. I'm a really big fan of Blake Crouch's books, and I heard so many good things about this series, and I know it's a Netflix or Hulu show. I want to read the entire series before the year is up. So there you have it. This is my mid-year Freakout book tag for 2025. I listed all the questions below in case you're interested in participating as well. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss another video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.